Today is Sunday, the 5th day of October 2025. This is the news hour on TV Sapientia. My name is Somto Okafo. You're welcome. The Dangote Group is ready to redeploy refinery engineers who were sacked for joining the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria to the company's sugar and cement plants. The company will also recruit new engineers to replace the redeployed ones. Sources in the refinery, who did not want to be mentioned because of the sensitivity of the matter, said the redeployment was a huge loss to the company. It was gathered that some of the 800 could also be deployed to units within the group's operations outside the country. Recall that Pengassan shut down oil and gas facilities between Sunday and Tuesday over allegations that 800 refinery workers were fired for volunteering to be members of the union. But the Dangote Refinery said it only sacked a few workers who were sabotaging the facility. Oil and gas workers went on strike in defense of their colleagues, causing the nation losses in oil and gas production as well as a drop in power generation. The intervention of the federal government restored peace as the Dangote Group was asked to redeploy the sacked workers. The federal government has refuted claims that Nigerians deported from the United States were left stranded after being reportedly dumped in Togo by the Ghanaian authorities, insisting that the returnees are under due profiling procedures. Reacting through the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCAM, the government said the deportees were not stranded but were currently undergoing profiling in line with international protocols. NIDCAM's Director of Media, Public Relations and Protocols, Abdurrahman Balogun, disclosed this to newsmen in an interview on Saturday. The Armed Forces of Nigeria announced on Saturday that 16 officers have been arrested over alleged acts of indiscipline and violations of service regulations. Preliminary investigations revealed that the officers' actions were tied to frustrations stemming from repeated failures in promotion examinations and concerns over stalled career progression. In a statement issued by the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuko Gesso, the conduct of the affected officers was described as falling short of the standards expected within the military. Gesso further noted that some of the officers were already under investigation for various offences and were either facing trial or awaiting court proceedings. Amid surge in deadly attacks by suspected local bandits, residents of Kebe local government area in Sokoto State have called on the federal government to permit them to bear sophisticated weapons for self-defense. The residents, who voiced their anguish at a press conference held on Saturday at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Secretariat, Sokoto, said they could no longer endure the incessant killings and destruction of properties by the marauding bandits led by Alhaji Adamu Kebe. The group accused both the state and local authorities of abandoning them to their fate, lamenting that the government's response to their plight had been slow and inadequate. They also urged the federal government to grant direct funding to local governments to enable them to equip local security outfits and respond swiftly to attacks. Sokoto State has been one of the worst hit by banditry in recent years, with emerging terror groups such as the Lukarawas and the notorious gang led by Bello Turji unleashing deadly violence across Isha, Sabon Beni and Kebe local government areas. While the state government has acknowledged the growing threat, residents say its measures have fallen far short of what is needed to guarantee safety. Security experts warn that the call for self-defense reflects a deepening loss of faith in state protection and highlights the urgency for the federal government to intervene decisively. For now, the people of Kebe says they are left with no choice but to defend themselves if the government fails to act. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has dismissed reports suggesting he accused the late President Muhammad Buhari of having ties with Boko Haram, insisting his comments were wrongly portrayed. In a statement released on Saturday by his media aide, Ikechukwu Eze, Jonathan clarified that he never alleged, hinted, or implied that Buhari supported or was connected to the terrorist group. The clarification follows reactions to Jonathan's remarks on Friday at the launch of Scars, a book authored by former Chief of Defense Staff Lucky Irabo, where he recalled that Boko Haram was named Buhari among individuals they wanted to represent them in peace talks with the government. Jonathan, who led Nigeria from 2010 to 2015, explained that the insurgents' mention of Buhari came after his administration had set up committees to initiate dialogue with the group. Eza explained that Jonathan's remarks were aimed at highlighting Boko Haram's deceptive tactics rather than implicating Buhari. Senator Iyiola Omisore, former Deputy Governor of Osun State, has declared his intention to contest the 2026 governorship election on the platform of the All Progressives Congress (APC). Omisore made the announcement via his official X handle on Saturday. Also, he noted the former declaration will be on October 7 at the APC Secretariat in Osogbo, the state capital. The declaration's theme, Omisore added, will be "Fix the Broken, Restore Our Dreams." He asked party members and citizens to join him at the event. He described as the beginning of the Osun Rescue Mission 2026. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, and Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara on Saturday held a meeting with members of the Rivers State Elders Council in Port Harcourt. The meeting, which comes amid recent political development in the state, was also attended by the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins Amewule, and Chairman of the Rivers State Elders Council, Chief Ferdinand Alabraba. This was disclosed on Sunday morning by the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication and New Media to the FCT Minister, Larry Olayinka, via his official X handle. While details of the meeting were not disclosed, the presence of key political figures suggests ongoing efforts to foster cohesion and stability within the Rivers political structure. The Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Federal Capital Territory Chapter, has confirmed the death of its former chairman, Dr. Ifeanyi Obu, who was reportedly kidnapped alongside his 3 children in Abuja. The administrative secretary of this association, Joshua Cartiers, confirmed the development in an interview with newsmen on Sunday. Efforts to reach the FCT Police Command for comments proved abortive, as calls and messages to the spokesperson's line were unanswered as of the time of filing this report. Obu, a well-known veterinary doctor in Abuja, served as chairman of the NVMA FCT chapter until 2023. He was reportedly abducted from his residence in Kubwa, a suburb of the Federal Capital Territory that has witnessed a recent surge in cases of kidnapping and armed robbery. Several communities within the area, including Boari and Duse, have in recent months raised concerns over rising insecurity, with residents calling for increased police presence and intelligence operations. Abu's death adds to growing fears over the safety of professionals and residents in the FCT satellite towns, where abductions for ransom have become a recurring menace, despite repeated assurances from security agencies. Now on the sports news. Nigeria's Flying Eagles will take on Colombia in their final group stage match at the 2025 FIFA U20 World Cup in Chile, a crucial encounter that will determine qualification for the knockout rounds. The match is scheduled for tomorrow, Monday, October 6, 2025. After a shaky start that saw them lose 1-0 to Norway in their opener, the Flying Eagles bounced back with a thrilling 3-2 win over Saudi Arabia, thanks to a late penalty that sealed all 3 points. Colombia, on the other hand, began their campaign with a 1-0 win against Saudi Arabia before playing a goalless draw with Norway. They currently sit joint top of the group with Norway on 4 points, while Nigeria are third with 3. The 7-time U20 African champions, who have twice finished as runners-up at the World Cup, must secure a win to guarantee a place in the knockout stage. Lastly, on the foreign news, the Department of Homeland Security is preparing to offer unaccompanied migrant teenagers in the U.S. a $2,500 payment if they voluntarily return to their home countries. According to an administration memo, the initiative would begin with 70-year-old migrants and require approval from an immigration judge. The payment will be issued after arrival in their home country to help with reintegration efforts. The Trump administration already provides $1,000 exit bonuses to undocumented adults who choose self-deportation, citing the approach as more cost-effective than detention and deportation. An ICE spokesperson confirmed that the program is strictly voluntary and allows minors to make an informed decision about their future. As of October 2, roughly 2,100 unaccompanied minors were in the custody of the Department of Health and Human Services. Critics, however, argue that paying children to live undermines long-standing protections for vulnerable migrant youths under U.S. law. Alright, esteemed viewers, that was the news hour on TV Sapientia, brought to you by Somto Okafor. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, my name is Somto Okafor once again. Do have a wonderful Sunday.